welcome back to the Cook to Flourish kitchen. This is Robin Cook and I am delighted that you are here today. Today we are making a recipe that I love. If you are a Brussels sprouts fan, this is for you. And even if you're not quite yet on the Brussels sprout bandwagon, stay tuned because you just might like this recipe. So here's what you're going to need. You're going to need to preheat your oven to 375 degrees. You're also going to need to have some Brussels sprouts that are already washed and cut them in half. So this here is about 3 cups worth of Brussels sprouts. So they're all nice and chopped and washed and they're ready to go. So this is going to be an almond balsamic Brussels sprouts recipe with a little bit of pomegranates too. So here's what we're going to start with. We are going to start with 1 tablespoon of avocado oil. And I recommend getting a little separate dish to put your different oils and balsamics in. So 1 tablespoon is going into our little dish here. And I like to do the avocado oil because it can take a higher heat than olive oil can. The next we have here is a cranberry pear white balsamic, and this is from a special store here in Kansas City called Heavenly Olive Oils and Vinegars. You can find them online if you're not local here. So cranberry pear, 1 tablespoon. And it's such a beautiful, kind of a peachy color. And it just smells heavenly. So we're gonna get that, and then we're going to do a half of a tablespoon of the maple balsamic. Doesn't that just sound like fall? So a half a tablespoon of the maple balsamic into our same little dish here. You could do more if you wanted to. And then to bring in the almond, we are gonna do some organic almond extract. So here we have this, and we are going to do a half of a teaspoon. There's a 1/4 and a half. Okay, so we have that there, and we're just going to stir this together, and then we're going to pour it over our Brussels sprouts. So Brussels sprouts are an amazing vegetable because they have a little bit of protein, they have great fiber, and they're also good for detoxification. Okay, so once you have that all nice and stirred, we're going to pour that over our Brussels sprouts, and it just smells so good. All right, we're just going to give these a little toss here. Nice, and oh, I already smell the almond and the cranberry balsamic coming through. So we want to make sure that all of the Brussels sprouts get the oil and the balsamic with a little taste of that almond. Okay, that looks pretty well coated to me. All right, and now we are going to do just a little bit of spices. So we're going to do a little bit of cinnamon. So I am going to do about a 1/4 of a teaspoon. You can, oops, a little too much. You can eyeball it if you would like. So a 1/4 of a teaspoon, there we go. I'll put that back in there. And then we're gonna do just a little bit of salt and pepper. So do it to taste. I do about a 1/4 or so of a teaspoon, there we are. And then our sea salt, this is real salt. So about a 1/4 teaspoon of that as well. All right, so now we're just gonna toss this back together again. So the cinnamon is going to really bring out the almond extract and that cranberry and that maple. And then the salt and pepper is going to balance it out with the savory. Okay, doesn't that look amazing? So here's what we're going to do. You're going to get a cookie sheet, or you can do a stoneware pan and then line it with unbleached parchment paper. Dump these Brussels sprouts onto that sheet and put it into your oven that's at 375 degrees, and then put these in there for about 20 minutes. You can check it after 15, see how they're doing. If they're smaller Brussels sprouts, they may need a little bit less time. So, but these here are about 20-minute Brussels sprouts. So put them in there, then bring them out, and I'll show you what we're going to do. So we are going to bring them out of the oven. Ta-da! And so these here are already jazzed up with our 2 extra ingredients. These have some slivered almonds that I've already put on there. So you put the slivered almonds onto your Brussels sprouts, put them back into the oven for about 5 more minutes just to toast the almonds just a little bit. You can add a little bit extra cinnamon. You could add a little bit extra salt or pepper if you wanted to. You can taste one, see how you like it. And then you can bring them back out of the oven after the 5 minutes. You can grate just a little bit of orange orange zest, organic orange zest if you want to. And then we are going to add in some pomegranate arils, or I like to call them pomegranate jewels. So this is going to give us a little burst of sweetness and an immune system boost as well with the vitamin C, which is wonderful, especially for the holiday season. So just sprinkle some on here, and then you can serve these in a pretty bowl if you want to. Or we can be a little fancy. You want to be fancy? I want to be fancy. So we took an acorn squash, cut it in half, cut out the seeds, put salt and cinnamon into the bowl, put it in a baking dish, cut side down, again, 375 degrees for about 40 minutes. And then out from the oven comes this delectable acorn squash here. I put a little bit of blood orange extra virgin olive oil into it. And now, here's what we get to do. We get to put these Brussels sprouts into our acorn squash bowl. How fun is this? So you could do this for your guests for dinner if you wanted to, or you could just use this as like an example here. Oh, doesn't that look just amazing? I wish that you could smell it. So you're getting amazing fiber in both the acorn squash and in the Brussels sprouts. Amazing seasonal fall favorite veggies here. Delectable in taste, and it's going to help you flourish from the inside out. So thank you so much. God bless you, and we'll talk to you next time.